So the Downtown Greenway was conceived as a part of the master plan for Center City back in 2001. And the idea was to build a walking and biking path that would not only define our Center City, but would also kind of expand people's perceived footprints of that Center City. And we knew that greenways were one way to attract business and people into a community. So the idea of this greenway was to encourage private economic development to come to Greensboro, and in particular to downtown. And we also saw the Downtown Greenway as the central hub of the entire parks and trails and greenway system in this community. And of course, Greensboro has a very, very strong parks and recreation system. And this was a way to honor and celebrate that and expand that and bring that strong system into the urban area. Since about 2007, we have been actively designing and planning and constructing various sections of ultimately what will be this 4-mile loop. And while we were in that process, we wanted to provide the public with a lot of different opportunities to engage with the Downtown Greenway. So we do public meetings in which we invite the public to come and look at the plans as they're in progress, to give us feedback about that. And those are really impactful ways that the community can be a part of making this greenway a success. We also have done some special events like our Run for the Greenway. That's an event that will be in its 8th annual year this coming October. And we really did that as a way, while we were under construction and under design, to give people a sense of what it ultimately will be like to run this loop around downtown Greensboro. So we have what's now a 4-mile run. We have a 1-mile kind of fun run with that. We have a big party with live entertainment and food and beer and lots of fun activities. And it's a great way for people to get to know a little bit more about the Downtown Greenway itself and build some excitement about actually being able to be on it when it's completed. We have some other activities we've done during the summer. We do free fitness classes at Moorhead Park. And we also have done an event for 2 years called Wheels on the Greenway. That was a wonderful event. We coordinate that event with the celebration of National Bike Month in May. And it's an event that's really focused on cycling. We pay a particular focus to kids and safety. This past year, we collaborated with the Warnersville Recreation Center in Warnersville, in which we had the community donate bicycles to kids in that neighborhood that didn't have them. And they were given the opportunity to get a new bike, pick up some safety tips about riding your bike in a safe way. They were all given free helmets to use, and then they rode from the Warnersville Recreation Center about a mile to the Downtown Greenway and the Moorhead Park area, where we had a big fun celebration. So we're trying to sort of sprinkle educational opportunities for the community, as well as just pure fun opportunities. The Downtown Greenway has a very large program of public art that is a part of our design process and build process for this project. One major component of that public art program on the Downtown Greenway is our 4 cornerstones. We have very significant large-scale works of public art that mark the 4 corners of that 4-mile loop. To date, we have built 3 of those 4 cornerstones. We plan to build the final one after we complete the work along the east side of the Downtown Greenway. And those themes of those cornerstones represent themes that have been important in Greensboro's history that have allowed us to become the community we are today. So the first one we built in the southwest corner is called, the theme was motion, and it was looking at the intersection of highways and railroads that came together that were responsible for some of Greensboro's early growth. We also looked at the forward movement of people's minds, and the fact that we have 7 colleges and universities here, which is a little unusual for a community of our size. The piece that we commissioned that was built is called Gateway of the Open Book. And it's a wonderful piece that has a matrix-like structure that then has a series of smaller sculptures within it. The other theme that we did next in the northwest corner of the Downtown Greenway was called Tradition. And it was sort of looking up to the northwest to the Battle of Guilford Courthouse National Park and thinking about the role that Greensboro played in the Revolutionary War with that Battle of Guilford Courthouse. We selected artist Harry's and Hayter Collaborative from Cambridge, Massachusetts to do that piece. And one of the really beautiful things that they discovered in their research in preparing a proposal for us for that site were letters that General Nathaniel Greene had written to George Washington when Nathaniel Greene was in battle here in Guilford County. So the artists actually took snippets of these letters. They used General Greene's actual handwriting, which back then was beautiful, gorgeous penmanship, and cut out in stainless steel the phrases from these letters that are embedded as the roof of this tent-like structure that emulates the tents that the men would have been in. So you can actually read the text from the letters. As the sun comes down through the roof of the structure, it casts a shadow on the ground, and you read the snippets of the letters. The third cornerstone, which is in the northeast corner of the Downtown Greenway at the corner of Murrow and Lindsay, is called Woven Works Park. And the theme of that was innovation. The central major public art piece of that Woven Works Park is a piece called Revolution Cone, which is quite an expansive cone that you walk up to in a spiral. And in the center of it, there's a bench that turns. And so when you're inside that piece and you're sitting on the bench and you're turning, if you look up, you have this sense that you are like a spool of thread being spun. And then the rest of the site is has a series of other elements of play, again inspired by the textile industry, designed to be elements of inclusive play, so suitable for children with physical handicaps. And we received a donation from a donor in memory of Henry Levinson here that wanted to sort of honor that idea of providing these elements of play that were inclusive to all children and people for that matter. And then the fourth cornerstone is down in the southeast corner. It'll be at the intersection of Murrow Boulevard and Gate City Boulevard. That theme of that piece is called Freedom. And of course it's looking at the role that Greensboro played in the national civil rights movement with our local sit-in movement here. We also, in terms of public art, have a series of benches that are created by North Carolina artists, and those benches represent the neighborhoods in which the Downtown Greenway is passing through. So what you see behind me here is a piece called Home Site, done by a Durham artist, Jeanette Brossart. And this piece reflects the Fisher Park neighborhood, which is just, we're right on the edge of Fisher Park here. And with all of our works of public art, we do a lot of community engagement to learn from the community what sort of ideas and visions would they like to express to the general public. We really like to be able to express the neighborhood's character and history and vision for itself through public art that the community can discover while it's traveling in and around the Downtown Greenway. We have a website that is a great source of information, www.downtowngreenway.org, that I would encourage you to visit to learn more. We have a number of volunteer opportunities for the Downtown Greenway, ranging from helping us in the office to volunteering for our Run for the Greenway to helping us at a public meeting. So if there's interest in that, you can contact our office for learning a little more about those opportunities.